Alright, hello, this is going to be Solidworks CSWA practice problem 10.6. If you want to follow along with the video, make sure to follow the link in the description. That'll take you straight to the official Solidworks practice problem database. So let's get started. First of all, you want your units in MMGS. And then we're not going to start from the side. Instead, we're going to draw the sketch from the top. And then from there, we're going to cut out our shape from the front. So we're going to start our base extrusion from the top. And at the origin, you're going to start with a concentric pair of circles. And if you look at detail view C, you should get all the dimensions you need. So the inside is 10 millimeters in diameter. The outside, oh sorry, no. The inside is actually 16 diameter. And now my other circle's hidden. Wait, hold on. Okay. So the inside is 16. And then the distance between them is 10. That's what it was. So the distance between them is 10. Okay, from there we're going to make our slit. But it's going to be an angled line, so we need to get our vertical center line as a reference. Then I'll draw a line. I guess I'll draw the line from the origin upwards like this. Let's angle that line from the vertical to be 30 degrees. And then I think I'm just going to offset it in both ways. So I'm just going to click this. I'm going to offset it bidirectionally by 1. So offset it by 1 and make it bidirectional. That way the total width would be 2. So I'll select OK. Then I guess I'll trim away everything I don't need. So I'll trim away all of this, the middle line, actually I do need that middle line, but I think I'll just make a construction, right, for construction. So I'll stay as for construction. Now trim away all the lines inside of the circle, like this. Should be fine. Well, so this line should be a distance of 1 from the center line. And that should be that. And let's make sure we close that contour. Actually, I need to shave this off here as well. Okay, there we go. So then let's make a horizontal center line going to the right. And I guess I'll just add a corner rectangle. Spans across like this. Make sure its midpoint is coincident with the center line. Then let me add an arc here. So I'm going to add the tangent arc. It's connecting the rectangle to the circle. Let's make sure the arc is tangent with the circle. Then let's mirror this arc onto the other side. Then let's give it the proper dimensions. So this arc is going to be of radius 8. The rectangle should have a thickness of 16. And its length should be, let me see. Oh, I see. The total length of the part should be 96. But it's actually 96 from center point at the origin to the far right edge of the rectangle. So it should be like this, 96. And I'm going to trim away the excess of the rectangle. And also this part as well. So that should be your fully defined base. So let's go ahead and extrude this. I'm going to extrude it downwards by a depth of, let's see, should be extruded downwards, so I'm going to reverse the direction, and its depth is going to be 90. Select OK. So from here we can start making our cuts to get the base part. So I'm going to create a sketch over in the front plane. And then we'll start from the top to the bottom. So first things first, let's make ourselves a triangle. So go something like this. Then there needs to be a fillet here. That is a R8 fillet. Oh, actually, yeah, let me add a line so that the fillet can actually be in the right position. So the fillet should be here. I guess first of all we'll measure the triangles first. So the diagonal of the triangle's angle from this edge should be 20 degrees. But now obviously I can still move the triangle like this, so I need to fix that. Let's see here. in order to fix its horizontal distance, I need to have this fillet at the top left corner here. I'm gonna try adding that fillet again. So it is an 8mm fillet. It should be going right here. It's obviously not the move. And I thought I added a line here. For some reason it's not working. Or maybe I'll remove this coincidence relation if I can. Okay, let me delete those lines. So this time I'll try adding the fillet like manually, kind of like this. Guess we'll do something like this, something like that. I'll drag this line across until it's coincident with that point. Then we'll go back and fix this diagonal line so it's 20 degrees, just like before. Let's make sure this arc is tangent with this edge. Then this arc should have a radius of 8. There's a center point there. So now, okay, so the distance from this arc's center point to the origin has to be 36. And at this arc center point, you also have a hole. So you need a circle. That circle's diameter is going to be 7. And then that's their top part done. I wish I could have just used a sketch fillet tool here, but it just wouldn't let me. I was probably doing it wrong, but yeah. But creating an arc like that manually is the same thing, so it works. Okay, so next of all, we're going to go for the big arc cut on the left side. So I'm going to start with a straight line, straight horizontal line. And this is going to go into a big arc like this, like about here, I guess. Actually, I'm going to bend it a little. Actually, yes, I'm going to go all the way down here. And it should go into a line that's like slightly angled. Slightly angled, which will go into a perpendicular line. Actually, I want this line to be a little further. And I want the perpendicular line to make coincident with the bottom edge, something like that. Yes, something like that. So, okay. So first of all, I want to make sure that this arc is tangent with this line down here. And I want to make sure that the center point, well, actually, let me fix the arc real quick. So this arc's way too big. It should be an R48 arc. And then the distance from the arc's center point, which is here, to the origin, its horizontal distance should be 14. Should be 14. And then we can start fixing everything else. So this horizontal line here, its distance from the top edge has to be 20. And then the angle between this horizontal and this angled line way down here has to be 80 degrees. And then these two lines down here have to be perpendicular to each other. And then the distance of this line at the bottom here has to be 16. Oh. So 16. So I should fully define everything. So from here, all you need is one more arc. And here we can just use a 3-point arc that connects these two endpoints. And then that arc's radius has to be 135. And from there, we should be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and cut everything. So go to Features, Extrude Cut. Then I'll do Through All Both. And I'll select all the contours. Oh, actually, I need to close out some contours. So let me go back to the sketch. So I need to close this one out. Then I also gotta close this one out. That should be it. So let's go back to Features, Extrude Cut, Through All Both, and select this contour, and this contour, and along with the hole. So select OK, and there's your base part right there. So now we can add those. We can add some fillets. Let me find what the fillets are. Oh yes, okay. The fillets are all R8 fillets. So I'm going to fillets, make an R8. Yes, and you're basically going to fillet everything. So first of all, you need to fillet, is it this edge or this edge? Wait, no, it's this edge. This edge right here. Or is it this edge? Smooth edges cannot be filleted. Oh, it already is filleted. Oh. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh, I see. Because earlier I made an arc here when I was connecting the rectangle. I could have just kept the rectangle and then filleted it later, but I guess it's pretty much already like filleted in a way. So we can just continue. I believe the top face is filleted like this. Wait, actually, no. Actually, no, it's just the side edges that are filleted. So it should be, so this edge for sure, and that should be R8, not R10. So R8 fillets. And then the opposite edge as well, R8. Then you got the bottom here. Wait, no, these fillets are way too big, no? These can't be the right fillet sizes. Oh, it's R3. It's R3. If you look in section view BB, you see that one R3 typical dimension. And of course, they're trying to make it as complicated as possible, so it's going to be R3, not R8. You also see in the front view, on like the right side, where it says R3 typical. So yes, it should be R3, not R8. So R3. So I'll get this part and the opposite side. I'll make sure to get the bottom square here as well. All four parts of it. Okay, there you go. Then should be this edge, or this arc, I mean. Then along this edge, and that should do it. So I'll select OK. So there's your R3 fillets. And I'm going to make a hole on the bottom stub here. So I'm going to click Sketch, this face. And it's going to be centered in this kind of rectangle area, so let's get a center line. Be coincident with the midpoint. So midpoint to midpoint. And then at the midpoint of this center line, I'll make my circle. And that circle's diameter should be 8. And then we'll just do a through all cuts from there. So it's just a through all. Select OK. And from here we'll do our mid-plane cut. So let's make our sketch in the front plane. So it's going to be a straight line down here. It goes into a diagonal. That goes into a, I believe, a perpendicular line. And then, Well, here, because there's a fillet, you can't really use a corner. So you're basically just going to have to kind of over-exaggerate your geometry, like this. Just to make sure you cut everything, including that fillet right there. That's the main reason I'm doing that. As long as you get this part cut, that should be completely fine. So first of all, the distance from origin to vertical line is going to be 26. And then I need a reference for the center of this circle, so I'm going to add a point there. So the distance from this center point, or circle center, to the right side edge is going to be 57 diagonally. And this width is going to be 18. Then you're going to need 2 sketch fillets. Well, actually, first of all, yeah, don't I need the angle of this line? Surely I need the angle. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. I think it's implied that this edge right here is supposed to be parallel with this edge. I think that's where you get the angle from. So those are supposed to be parallel to each other. So 26, 57, 18. But then obviously this can still move along. Wait, this shouldn't move along. Why is... Oh, I see. The 18 dimension was wrong. I did it between the 2 points. It's supposed to be between this line and then this line. That should be 18. I see. Then we'll just have to fix these with arbitrary dimensions, so 35. Let's just make these 2 lines parallel or perpendicular to each other. And I guess I'll give this a length of, 59. Oh, what happened? Oh yeah. Okay. So it should be like that. So let me double check that these 2 lines are perpendicular, which they should be. Wait, are they perpendicular? Yeah, these 2 lines should be perpendicular. So these 2 lines are parallel, these 2 lines are perpendicular. This is 18, 26, 57, yes, this should all be correct. Okay, I see. So from here we can make our mid plane cut. Oh, actually first we need our fillets. So the sketch fillets are going to be R3 fillets. They're going to be at the bottom 2 corners here and here. And then we'll do a mid-plane cut. Of 10. And then you select OK. And now cut everything so you get that kind of slot in there. So that should be your whole part, all the fillets attached as well. So okay, let's go check the answer. I'm gonna go to evaluate mass properties, and for my volume I'm getting 53,258 cubic millimeters for my volume. 53,258. So I hope you learned something from this video, and I'll see you in the next one.